Did you know Zion National Park closes the main entrance road when the parking lots fill up? I almost learned that the hard way when I visited the day before shuttle services started for the season. I'm sorry I can't clean my windshield, but it is too cold outside, and my wiper fluid, I am assuming, is frozen because it's not working. It's Friday the 11th, and it's just after 8, so now I am at the Checkerboard Mesa viewpoint. I am just arriving at Zion. I have the full day here today and tomorrow. I'm waiting until 9. I have to go pick up some rental gear so I can go hike the Narrows. I think I'm also going to visit the visitor center and see what they recommend in terms of when to hike Angel's Landing so I can plan out the rest of my days. There's like a short 1-mile hike before the giant tunnel getting into the park. So I'm just gonna do that first, maybe make some breakfast and brush my teeth, and then pick up my rental gear. Right now the temperature is 21 and the coldest temps that I saw so far today were 9 degrees. So yeah, very much frozen outside. I wish I could clean my windshield for you, but I cannot. Sorry. Okay. I'm in Zion. That was so incredibly stressful. I thought that my rental pickup and the visitor center both open at 9. Turns out they open at 8, and I was going past the visitor center like 8:20, 8:30 and decided to stop and see if they were open, and the kindly park ranger told me that there was probably no way I was gonna be able to hike the Narrows today because the parking lot was already full, and I could try to hike Angel's Landing instead today. But I needed to leave immediately because they were about to close the gate. I did not realize it was that hard to get into the park at all. Oh my gosh. So I like barely made it in before they were gonna close the gate, but I made it. I just parked in like literally the last spot in the lodge parking lot. It's not even a real spot, but this kindly man just helped me park in this like side spot. I guess it's a 15-minute walk to the Angel's Landing trailhead, which is what I'm gonna do today apparently. I'm gonna see if I can switch my rental to tomorrow if they'll let me, but we'll see if they're gonna be lenient at all. I'm gonna leave my car here I think all day and just try to do Angel's Landing and then the Emerald Pools, both of which are walking distance from here. That's the plan. Okay, that was so stressful. I was not ready for that. Yeah, gonna get myself together and go do Angel's Landing first thing. So let's go check it out. Just starting the grotto trail now from the lodge. It's a half mile, I believe, to the trailhead for Angel's Landing. The one thing I forgot to put in my little backpack were my spare GoPro batteries. Very likely I will end up filming on my phone because y'all know how that's going. Nice wooded walk. Alright, so I parked at the lodge, took the grotto trail. I'm here. I'm gonna go do Angel's Landing, then walk back to the pools, and back to my car.
How much further?
Oh, I know.
You can do it.
I need the encouragement. Over there. The hike itself wasn't as bad as I expected, but it did help that it wasn't overly crowded. I could see how Angel's Landing can be super dangerous when too many people are passing in both directions. The sketchiest part for me was at a slippery ice-covered spot when I grabbed one of the metal poles and found it had come completely loose from the rock. Totally thought that was it because I've already stopped. But there's a lot more. It's not too busy. Thank goodness. Okay, the areas with no chains. Be more careful. 12:40. I'm almost to the trailhead again, so it took me 3 hours round trip. It's about 2 hours up, and I spent a decent amount of time up there just hanging out, enjoying the view and having a snack, but the way down is very fast. So now heading back down to the trailhead. I'm gonna take the West Room Trail up to the 2 emerald pools and then back to my car, and then figure out what the plan is to do the narrows. We will see. Alright, so that's where you climb up and we end this valley with the river running through it. So stunning. This reminds me of backpacking in Arizona. Almost there. So I'm almost at the upper pool. These cliffs are huge. Alright, that was the last of the emerald pools. I think the last hike I'm trying to do in here, except the narrows. So I might just check out a viewpoint or two by car and then go pick up my rental gear. So that's the plan. Oh gosh, my hair, I'm sure it looks gross. Today has been a day. So I went back to the visitor center after hiking in Zion and asked them a little bit about when I should do the narrows. I decided I'm gonna do the narrows tomorrow morning via the shuttle system. And so I'm spending this afternoon actually outside of Zion. I'm at Yant. So I'm at the Yant trailhead right now. If you've ever seen photos of like the rock that just looks like snake skin, it's kind of orange creamsicle looking, like white and light orange. That's where this is. Again, it was a 30-minute, very bumpy, barely made it in the Prius drive on an unpaved road to get here. About the same, maybe a little bit worse than the road to Grosvenor Arch. But we made it. Again, not looking forward to the drive back. I'm gonna hop out and explore this area a little bit and then drive back before it gets dark. I haven't really had that much service to be able to look in Google Maps at the reviews and the photos and see exactly what I'm getting myself into. So I kind of just took a chance on it based on a YouTube video that I watched, I think. Yeah, we're gonna see how it is. Totally unlabeled. There's no signs or anything, so yeah, interesting. I think it's about a 1.5 mile hike from the trailhead. Hopefully I'm about there. It's been almost 20 minutes. Alright, after 22 minutes, made it. That's where I want to get to. This was one of those extra stops on my road trip that made me wish I had more time to explore outside the national parks. The multicolored sandstone here was absolutely stunning. Well, I didn't have time to walk down to the really pretty orange and white area because
and it was gonna take me about half an hour to walk back to my car and then half an hour on that bumpy road. It's about 5:15 now, so I'm gonna head back to camp and get settled before it gets completely dark. But I will say it was very cool and it was definitely worth it to check it out. Now I want an orange creamsicle.
Good morning. It is it's Saturday the 12th of March and it's my last day on vacation. I'm finishing up the Narrows and then maybe that little hike on the side of the Carmel tunnel. My brain is clearly not awake yet. But right now I'm just parked in the visitor center waiting for the shuttle, which is in an hour. There's quite a few people here already, but I'm just gonna get ready, pack up my stuff, and then I think I'm gonna make oatmeal because why not?
Hiking the Narrows upstream from the Riverside Walk doesn't require a permit, and you can go as far as Big Spring, putting your round-trip mileage at just under 10 miles. Though most people will just explore the first few miles before turning around. Be sure to check the water level before you go to decide if you need to rent gear like I did. Also, check the weather and be cautious of flash floods. It's pretty amazing getting to do two iconic yet totally different hikes in one national park.
We got the gift store, the restaurant, the lodge, the Emerald Pools. Just a heads up, this is stop number 4. The next stop after this is number 1. There are no stops in between.
While I was on the shuttle headed back to my car to leave, I overheard a group of visitors mention that Angel's Landing was closed today for repairs. It must have been that loose pole I felt yesterday. It's crazy how life can throw you curveballs that stress you out in the moment, but end up being for the best. I guess it was all meant to be and worked out perfectly after all. This was the last leg of my Utah Mighty 5 road trip, so be sure to watch the rest here if you haven't already, or check out my Yosemite vlog for more national park fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you here next time.